you to take a part.
I'm asking you to take a part.
I'm asking you to take a part. I'm asking you to take a part. I open myself to strangers. I'm a book of blank pages, a book full of questions and expanses with no answers. A book of waiting questions. A book awaiting answers no one wants to write in. A book of strange questions no one wants to answer. Personal questions. Questions that assume too much or know too much too soon. Either way, you're put off, pissed off by my questions. These questions make you angry. These intimate questions. Invasive and presumptuous. These boring and interesting because invasive questions they intimate. A book of open questions. No stranger wants to answer. No visitor here. An open book. I'm reaching out, asking for help. I'm looking to you for answers. I'm asking you to take apart the part, yours. What dream do you remember most vividly, and what message do you think it bears?
The dream of living in a tree in the woods by my childhood home, watching the lights of the house go on and off, hearing the noises of my family living. High up in the tree, I grew rough skin, fur. I think its message is about feeling apart, alienated, the strangeness of being an adoptee.
Why don't you listen to what the universe, or your mind, or your body, or your God whispers ever more closely to you?
For one thing, I think they whisper differently. I don't feel a unity of all those things. Sometimes the whispers conflict.
My baby is screaming in my other ear.
Maybe the conflict is actually what I should be thinking about. I think about should a lot. Maybe I don't like being told what to do, even gently.
Why do you assume I don't?
Maybe what I should be paying attention to is that I assume they were telling me what to do. Maybe they're just giving me some information. I like information.
If you could, what gift that is impossible for you to give would you offer and to whom? Why this specific gift to this specific person or persons?
I would give my beloved an indelible sense that he exists and deserves to exist and has the power to make things, including changes. Nothing would be able to take this sense away. I would give this to him because he doesn't have it.
Describe the person you love. How would you know them without their face?
I love my mother, her voice.
The ticklish bleat of his laugh, his radiant temperature, his lanky pranksterisms.
I would know her voice anywhere. I would know her smell. I would know her from her language and her laugh and the way her brain works. She's smart and caring and funny. She's ambitious, but in a good way. She wants to change people's minds about their behavior, encourage them to care more about how they interact with each other and how they use Earth's resources. And did I mention she's funny?
I would know her voice, the fast tumble of words. Even without language, I know her habit of little burrs between sentences, and ers, like tiny motors idling.
How did you first know you were in love, and what makes you unsure of it?
Amazing sex. Love's a funny thing, on and off like a light switch. One night of good sex and nothing else matters.
What besides love do you doubt, and what makes you doubt it?
I don't doubt it.
I doubt everything. I'm Catholic.
How did you first know you were in love?
I knew I was in love with her when I knew a big fight was coming, and I decided not to be afraid and to engage with her in a fair, if loud, disagreement. I'm not good at fights, but I'm starting to value them.
He felt like a place I could pad around in bare feet in, although sometimes I feel most honest when I'm utterly alone.
And what makes you unsure of it?
I don't doubt it, but love grows and changes over time. There are no guarantees.
I was never unsure of the love I felt. Our correspondence to one another, atom to atom, each atom of our bodies, included each of us being stubborn, independent, etc. It's not as if there were never conflict or tension, and she was a better fighter than I. She could be a real terrorist. There were times I was unsure of her love for me, but of my love for her, never.
That certainty can make me restless.
If you could, what gift that is impossible for you to give would you offer and to whom? Why this specific gift to this specific person or persons?
The will to live, which I would give to any person considering killing themselves because of depression. I have known people who did and saw the wake of grief it leaves.
In what way have you betrayed or disappointed yourself or others?
Sins of omission,
In what way have you been betrayed or disappointed?
On the losing side of compromise too many times.
In what way have you betrayed or disappointed yourself or others?
Tourists disappoint me. I disappoint myself as a tourist.
In what way have you been betrayed or disappointed?
I don't know. I don't want to be an appointer, but most things disappoint me.
In what way have you betrayed or disappointed yourself or others?
I think I've probably disappointed everyone who has ever known me.
In what way have you been betrayed or disappointed?
I've been betrayed and disappointed by silence and perfection.
In what way have you betrayed or disappointed yourself or others?
Oh Christ, Todd, you've met people, right?
How did you first know you were in love, and what makes you unsure of it?
The moment he was born, it was the strongest rush of love I have ever felt. No questions, not even the tiniest bit of unsure, just the surety of falling down a waterfall and then standing there in the foamy water, the waterfall cascading down, battering head, body, upturned face, blinded by water and sun, as powerful as anything, enveloping and violent in its joy.
What are the parameters of your small world?
Most days a small, comfortable room, charts and notes, computer screens with color-coded grids, a vocation made of words, a house in the suburbs backed up to a quiet husband and a cat with 18 toes, pills before meals, books and notebooks stacked by my favorite chair, my bed, often prayers for bravery.
I restrict my world to what I do well. Sometimes I feel the walls harm me.
Physically, the parameters of my world are currently defined by a 1-year-old child. Philosophically, there are no parameters.
How do you decide where to draw the line, where to focus your energies, what to give your attention and time to? What, if anything, do you do to enlarge it? If nothing, why not?
Art is an enlarger, but I don't have a lot of time for it lately. I guess I write to keep the walls from closing in.
I try to engage with strangers. I try to make new friends. I try to maintain authentic relationships with a few people, but, oh God, people are just so disappointing and self-serving. I can see it in myself. It's exhausting. So I have crazy enthusiasms, TV shows, authors, musicians. They're sort of mini crushes on new experiences, something to give me hope, to get me out of bed.
I try to remember in a way that's energizing and not terrifying that I will die.
Why don't you listen to what the universe or your mind or your body or your God whispers ever more closely to you?
This is the question that most immediately engaged me on first reading, even though there was so much I don't like about it. It pulls at me, I think, because it suggests intimate communion with something other than habituated structures of response as a wellspring of renewal and potentially more meaningful or true experience and behavior.
But the question embodies all sorts of assumptions that don't always apply.
Because it is difficult to trust, especially what appears to be good or benevolent.
What makes you think I don't? I keep trying. Sometimes a person learns by fucking up, you know? Maybe the missed signs and signals on small things are helping me fine-tune my reaction and my trust so I can catch the signs on important matters.
Today is not a day for self-flagellation.
Embodies all sorts of assumptions that don't apply.
Why aren't you more involved in trying to better the world of others?
I'm ultimately kind of self-absorbed. I don't have a lot of extra time or energy after all the things I want to do or done. I try to stay as engaged as possible in the world of others and be as good an influence and a giver of energy as I can. I don't have a lot of faith that individuals can make huge and important changes, and ultimately I don't know how folks find the time. I'm so busy thinking about sex all the time, for example, and doing what I can to get some here and there, or listening to and playing music. I don't know if music betters the world, but I like it, and that's a way that I enjoy spending my time. I do always try to be helpful to those people who are in my life, in any way I can.
If you could, what gift that is impossible for you to give would you offer and to whom? Why this specific gift to this specific person or person?
I would spare my partner the death of his first husband. Parts of him are scarred and irreparably broken. I ache to see it.
Why aren't you more involved in trying to better the world of others?
Weakness, fear.
What besides love do you doubt, and what makes you doubt it?
I doubt myself, others, politicians, bankers, students, people in general. I think what makes me doubt things are my expectations.
Why aren't you more involved in trying to better the world of others? As he approached and saw the city, he wept over it and said, "If you, even you, had only known on this day what would bring you peace, but now it is hidden from your eyes." Why aren't you more involved in trying to better the world of others?
I do what I can.
Get off my back.
Is this interview over yet?
Why aren't you more? What dream do you remember most vividly, and what message do you think it bears?
I'm walking around downtown, almost full-term pregnant. People I know are coming up to me, smiling, to touch the baby through my belly when the sun is warm.
What dream do you remember? I never remember my dreams. What dream most vividly?
I had had more than one dream in which I wake up and discover that there is someone leaning over me with a long knife. I have no time to react before he starts stabbing and slashing. The pain is overwhelming.
Do you remember most vividly in what?
An evil man was dressed like a TV bandit in black and white stripes and a black mask and spreading a roll on the stair, landing outside my childhood bedroom.
Evil man in a tree.
He wanted me and my family members to slip on it and fall down the stairs. I was very young, and this is the first dream I remember about it.
Do you remember?
I'm kissing the boy I thought was the love of my life until I met the love of my life. There is a small stone in my mouth, and I don't want him to know it's there.
What dream do you most?
Many vivid, and most of them suddenly upon me as the day with its technicolor realism. The one most immediate, a repeating nightmare when I was 4 or 5 or 6 months old, 4 or 5 years old or 6. You made me terrified every night sleepless. I had to have light. I would lie awake until my sister fell asleep so she wouldn't notice me turning on the lamp.
The vividness, less visual, oral, or tactile, almost completely feeling. The details simple. The dark wood, black trees, inky sky, the smell of wet dirt and damp mosses. I can't see him or her, but I know I'm being pursued and hunted, and I'm terrified.
The air ice in my throat, running so long and so hard I can't feel my legs anymore. It's terror I have never felt, and every time, just as I am about to be caught, I can feel his steps behind me, the faint thump in the earth from his footfalls.